What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. See? What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? Now I know why I wasn't concerned after last night's loss. Had every right to not be concerned. And I think people overreacted a little too much after last night. Phillies win in very convincing fashion by a score of 12-2. A lot of manufactured runs. ALEC BOHM 3-run bomb, getting runs all over the place, stealing bases, getting hits down the line, extra base hits. You name it, the Phillies did it tonight. Christopher Sanchez didn't start off so pretty after allowing the Mets to take a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Leadoff solo bomb. They score another run after a couple of, base runners get on. Force out, scores a run. Becomes 2-0 all of a sudden. You're thinking to yourself, oh, God. Oh, God, not the best start. Oh, boy. Then he settles down. Manages to go 5. Definitely 100% is not the best version of Christopher Sanchez out there, but he battled. He 100% battled. 5 walks, which is very uncharacteristic of Christopher Sanchez. But once he got in the jams, following the first inning, managed to get out of them. Especially that, huge bases loaded jam in the bottom of the 5th inning when the Phillies were up 8-2. And the Mets could have still made it a ball game. Pete Alonso, Christopher Sanchez gets the first 2 outs of the inning, allows a double, walks a couple of guys because his command's all over the place, and gets Pete Alonso, bases loaded, just throws strikes. Pete Alonso taking advantage of the aggressiveness, and just a perfectly placed fastball on the inside part of the plate to strike him out. 1, 2, 3, huge stuff there from Christopher Sanchez, and he managed to find a way to get a win tonight, and the Phillies offense definitely helped in that case, which was very, 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 very crucial. They got the Peterson, which was very surprising on the Mets' perspective that he didn't get out of the 4th inning when it was just very odd to see him get pulled and yanked so early. I'm not sure if Mendoza for the Mets just didn't like that the Phillies were getting so much hard contact to go to Adam Ottavino, and that doesn't end up well because ALEC BOHM ends up hitting the 3-run bomb, and the Phillies, continue to tack on runs against the Mets bullpen. But that definitely was an odd thing to see from the Mets' perspective, just pulling Peterson out. Maybe it was just the fact that he didn't like what he was seeing with the way the Phillies were making contact with the ball consistently, and it was consistent hard contact. Also, the Mets defense 100% didn't help in that case because they were throwing the ball all over the place. You got Pete Alonso dropping a ball in the outfield that he should have caught. That was bad in itself. You got the Mets throwing it all the way around in the infield. You got Rojas getting a triple out of that situation late in the ball game. So definitely some interesting stuff. You also see ALEC BOHM with a karate chop thing, kick, whatever the fuck he decided to do, trying to take home plate when the Phillies tied the ball game up because the Mets threw it beyond home plate, and he was thrown out by a mile. Then he, for some reason, tried to jump, karate kick. I don't know what he was trying to do, get out of the way or something like that. After the entire fact, after the game, you look back on that and look at it as hilarious, but then once you see it live in action, like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, what the fuck was that? But they continued to tack on runs. They continued to hit with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, tacking on runs any way possible against Peterson and the Mets bullpen. Home run ball definitely helped as well, but it wasn't the major factor in today's game. You find yourself with a win, you find yourself clinching a postseason spot, and now your magic number for the NL East is down to 2, and we'll see where that goes from there. Also, the last time that I did see the Diamondbacks were beating the Brewers, but the Brewers literally just tied it before I thought of that, but then the Diamondbacks took the lead right after that. So I'm not entirely sure what the score of that game is right now. Okay, the Diamondbacks are winning 7-4 right now in the bottom of the 6th, but the Brewers have 2 runners on but no outs in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 3-run game, so anything could happen there. So definitely would like to see some help there from the Diamondbacks' perspective. They helped us out yesterday. So let's see if they can help us out today. I hate asking for help from the Diamondbacks, but sadly that is going to have to be the case today. Mets also got help perspective-wise from the Braves losing to the Miami Marlins 4-3, so nothing really happens there with the wild card separation. It's still a 2-game lead for the Mets, so that definitely helps them out there. So the Braves couldn't take advantage of anything at all. But, yeah, good game. Good game overall, and like I said, they were not going to get swept. I told you they were not going to get swept. I see you down there, Sean, in the live chat right there. I see you down there. I told you they weren't going to get swept, and they proved me right. And they proved me right. Just busted balls a little bit there. Had to do it. Had to do it. But yeah, overall, just a great win. Great win. Now, it's Ranger Suarez tomorrow against Sean Manaea. We don't know what's going to happen with Ranger tomorrow in terms of how he's going to pitch. Definitely not confident in that perspective. Sean Manaea definitely has been very good for the Mets this year. We have seen him a couple of times. We did see him in London, and the Phillies managed to get to him later on in that ball game. So anything is possible at this point. The Phillies bats definitely have been swinging it better in these two games than they did the entirety of the Milwaukee Brewers series. So anything is possible at the end of the day. So get one more win in this series, you're the NL East champs, and then basically the rest of the way, all you have to do is worry about getting that bye week, and you got some separation in that fact. If the Diamondbacks win again against the Brewers, and the Dodgers, I think they just started their game, if I'm not mistaken, against the Colorado Rockies, so we don't know how that's going to go. So really anything could happen when you're playing the Colorado Rockies. Literally, that game just started, so really can't expect anything right now. Most likely the Dodgers will win that game, and they will win that series, so you really can't ask for anything there. The Dodgers do play the Padres the following series after Colorado, so, that might be more of a fight there from San Diego just because they still need to clinch a playoff spot. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Right now, Phillies focus on their own destiny. You got your playoff berth. Now your magic number's down to 2 for that NL East division. Get another win in this series, and all of that stuff is wrapped up, and you don't have to worry about anything with the division. Basically, your only worry now is getting guys some rest and getting that bye week, especially when you're going up against teams like the Chicago Cubs after this and the Washington Nationals. You should be able to wrap that up, in my honest opinion. So, if you want to go over the way this game went down, a lot of stuff went down here. Let's look at Christopher Sanchez's stat line, because definitely was ballsy, 100%. Did not start off good, did not have his best stuff whatsoever in tonight's game. Still managed to get out with a win, still managed to go 5 innings, and only allowed 2 earned runs. So definitely was a very mixed bag of Christopher Sanchez, a lot of good, a lot of bad, nothing really in between. So he finished off strong, I guess you could say, at the end of the day, getting that strikeout with the bases loaded with Pete Alonso to end that huge jam. So his entire stat line for tonight, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, which was very uncharacteristic by Christopher Sanchez's, role, because he really doesn't walk people, and 7 strikeouts with a home run allowed to Iglesias to lead off the game, basically. On 98 pitches, he threw 55 strikes, so that really showcases how wild he was in the strike zone, but he found a way to settle in after that first inning, and then the 5th inning got wild again, but he managed to find a way to get out of that unscathed. So I'll give credit to him, and he found a way. That's basically what you have to do at this point. You find a way, and that's what you got to do in the playoffs. You find a way. So that's definitely some good stuff from Christopher Sanchez on that side, finding ways to settle in and getting out of it when it does get bad, and to where you can basically limit the damage, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Now, in the playoffs, you can't be going walking 5 people throughout your course of the outing. That just can't happen, and I don't expect that to happen from Christopher Sanchez, but like I said, he figured it out, and that's the most important thing there. So let's go over this game and see how everything unfolded, basically. So you go to that bottom of the first inning after the Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the top. Iglesias leads off with that solo shot. Marte reaches it on an infield single. Vientos then walks, and then eventually wild pitch moves the guys over the second and third base. Then Sanchez gets Alonso to strike out for the first inning of the inning. Nimmo grounds into a force out, which scores the run, 2-0 Mets, and then eventually Martinez grounds out to end the inning. Top of the second inning for the Phillies, ALEC BOHM and Nick Castellanos lead off the inning with singles. JT Realmuto manages to get safe at first base because Pete Alonso could not catch a pop-up. So That definitely happened there. So you get bases loaded and no outs for Edmundo Sosa. He barely missed it, got under it just a little bit, goes to the warning track, dies, and a sacrifice fly, scores a run, becomes a 2-1 ball game, but then Weston Wilson struck out, and Rojas fouled out to end the inning, so that definitely is a lot left to be desired from the Phillies' bottom of the lineup in that top of the second inning, but you cut into the lead. Bottom second inning, after a one-out walk, Christopher Sanchez has a very fine bottom of the second, top of the third. This is when the Phillies tie the ball game up. Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner strike out and line out for the first 2 outs of the top of the third. Harper then singles. Bohm then singles, which moves Harper to third base. And then Nick Castellanos doubles down the left field line, which scores Harper. And then all the throwing and craziness from the Mets' perspective goes past home plate. ALEC BOHM tries to score on that wild throw, and then he got thrown out by a mile. So that was weird. And like I said, with the whole weird karate chop kick, whatever he was trying to do there to get out of the way, it happened. It definitely happened. So game is tied at 2 after 3. Christopher Sanchez gets a 1-2-3 bottom of the third inning, which was definitely very huge there. Then you go to the top of the fourth, where the Phillies really break the game open. JT Realmuto starts off with a soft liner for an out right to Acuna. Edmundo Sosa singles, then Weston Wilson doubles down the left field line, so you get second and third for Johan Rojas, and then you get one of the weirdest things of today's game, definitely one of the weirdest. Rojas doubles down the left field line, but it was so close it just basically barely hit the chalk line, but I guess the foul ball boy over down the left field line was confused on what the call was, because you got Vientos pointing foul and you got the umpire pointing fair, and then the ball just somehow lands in the ball boy's glove, so it automatically goes as a ground rule double and 2 runs scored because of that. So that was definitely a weird scenario. So the Phillies go up 4-2 there. Kyle Schwarber then pops up, becomes 2 outs there. Then the Mets decide to go to the bullpen with Trey Turner coming up the plate. He singles, scores a run after Rojas stole third base, so that's nice to see. Bryce Harper worked the count 3-0, then just got intentionally walked because of it. Then ALEC BOHM against Ottavino got a pitch that he liked. It was a hanging off-speed pitch, crushed it, sent it over the wall, 3-run bomb. Phillies take an 8-2 lead. Always love to see that. And then, of course, on the weirdness, Nick Castellanos strikes out on the pitch timer. Didn't get into the box on time, it looked like, I guess. The way the cameras were, you couldn't tell because it just happened. So, definitely weird. This was a very weird night. Bottom 4, Christopher Sanchez gets a nice double play to get a, basically a clean inning there in the bottom of the 4th. Don't let the Mets respond. Phillies don't do anything in the top of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th. This is when the Mets try to fight back into the game. First 2 out there by Bader and Acuna. I apologize for all the sneezing. Then Iglesias, he doubles with 2 outs down the right field line. Marte then walks. This is when Christopher Sanchez's command gets all over the place. Then Vientos walks to load the bases. And then Pete Alonso strikes out on 3 pitches. Love to see it. God damn it with the sneezes. Phillies go to the top of the 6th. They add on to the lead and make the Mets pay for all that. Kyle Schwarber leads off with a walk, then Trey Turner singles, which gets Schwarber over to third. ALEC BOHM just basically puts bat on ball, floats a single in the right field, scores another run, and then Nick Castellanos gets the force out, productive out basically, scores a run, gets out of the double play and all that stuff. God damn. So it becomes 10-2 Phillies. After all is said and done, bottom of the 6th, Kerkering comes out there, does his job. Top of the 7th inning, after a Rojas triple, they count it as a triple as the Mets throw it all over the place, basically. Nothing happens there. Top of the 8th, JT Realmuto with a 2 RBI bomb, makes it a 12-2 Phillies lead. Then basically the Phillies bullpen does the job from there. It was 12-2, game was over, and that was basically it. Phillies had 17 hits on the night. Kyle Schwarber, he goes 1 for 5 with a walk, 3 strikeouts. Trey Turner goes 2 for 5 with an RBI. Bryce Harper 1 for 5 with a walk. ALEC BOHM, fantastic at the plate today. He went 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs with the 3-run shot. Nick Castellanos 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. JT 2 for 5 with a 2-run shot. Edmundo Sosa 1 for 4 with a sac fly. Weston Wilson 1 for 4 with a walk. And then Johan Rojas 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs on the night. So nice seeing that there. Phillies, they go 6 for 17 with runners in scoring position. That always nice to see. Rest of the bullpen-wise, Kirkring throws 21 pitches in the 6th, strikes out 1. Matt Strom had a dominant 7th inning, 15 pitches, 2 strikeouts. Gilbert threw 10 pitches in the 8th, allowed 1 hit. That was basically it. And then they used Jeff Hoffman in the 9th inning to get him some work. He strikes out 2 on 8 pitches there. Basically getting Kirkring, Strom, and Hoffman some work. These guys really haven't pitched in the past couple of days, so that kind of makes sense there. So it is what it is there. Not really going to complain at the end of the day. So yeah, got a nice postseason clinch. Always nice to see. Always nice to see. Now, if you're looking at everything out of town scoreboard wise, the Brewers, the Diamondbacks, they managed to get out of that jam in the 6th inning. They're still winning 7-4 in the top of the 7th, so we'll just see how that goes along the rest of the day. And if we're looking at tomorrow's game, just to see the pitching matchup, it's going to be Ranger Suarez going up against Sean Manaea. He has been very good for Atlanta this year. Not Atlanta, for New York this year. He is 11-5 with a 3.26 ERA. His past couple of outings has been very solid. He went 7 innings against the Nationals, only allowed 1 earned run. He went 6 2/3 against Toronto, allowed 1 earned run. Then he went 6 2/3 against Cincinnati, allowed 4. Went 7 against the White Sox, allowed 0. Went 6 2/3 against the Diamondbacks, allowed 3. So definitely has been very solid for the Mets as of late. Definitely has figured something out here in New York. His month of September actually has been very good. He has a sub-2 ERA in the month of September, so he's basically getting better month by month so far. So we'll see if the Phillies can find a way to have him get a bad start here in the clinch division. So then Ranger Suarez, like I said, against Manaea. We'll see what Ranger does in this outing. Definitely not confident whatsoever. His last outing against the Brewers, definitely better than previous, but 5 innings allowed 3 earned runs. So right now, we still don't know what we're going to be getting from Ranger Suarez. So very big question mark and a very big right there for Ranger. And then if you're going into Sunday's game, that'll be Sunday Night Baseball. That'll be Zach Wheeler going up against Tyler McGill. Tyler McGill is 4-5 with a 4.08 ERA. So I don't think the Phillies have seen him at all this year, if I'm not mistaken. Have they seen him at all this year? No, they have not. Really has not seen much. So it is what it is there. And then after this Mets series, you play the 3 games at home, the final home series of the year against the Cubs, and then the final series of the year on the road against Washington. So definitely getting into the backstretch of the season. There's, 8 more games left. Definitely going to go by quickly. Get this division wrapped up. Focus on that bye week. Get that clinched. And, you move on from there. What is the bye week magic number? I know it was 7 a couple of days ago. Did the Brewers losing make it 6 and then today makes it 5 or something like that? I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. You could probably get this bye wrapped up if the Brewers lose this series to Arizona. That definitely could be a factor right there. Don't quote me on anything, but I don't know off the top of my head what the bye week magic number is. I'm sure it's not that much, especially since you do have the tiebreaker at the end of the day against Milwaukee. So, yeah. Try to get to some things else from today's game. We can get to some highlights and everything like that. We do have a lot of people viewing it here. I do appreciate that. We have 21 viewers right now. I appreciate that. So if you guys are new here to the channel, I definitely recommend you guys hitting that subscribe button and also dropping a like. It does me so much service here with the YouTube algorithm. But let's get to some highlights from today's game. Then we'll also get to the Anytime Hotline. So let's do that. Let's do that overall. So let's see what everything's going down here. I'm trying to get to the highlight perspective here. So let's do everything. Where's the first highlight? Where was the first highlight? So, okay, we got the Nick Castellanos RBI here in to make it a 2-2 game. So let's get to that.
Runner goes from first, and a liner is fair down the left field line, past Vientos. Harper scores. Bohm will get the stop sign at third, and it's...
That was a very quick one. I guess because it's Apple TV, they try to get these highlights out very quickly. Then we got Johan Roas's ground rule double, making a 4-2 Phillies game. Very weird stuff here.
Corner infielders are in. As Rojas slaps one, that's a fair ball. Down the left field line, the ball boy picked it up. But 2 runs are going to score, and the Phillies have a 4-2 lead.
I feel bad for the ball boy in that scenario. It was a confusing situation, and he just got caught up in between. That kind of sucks at the end of the day. Kind of really feel bad for him there. So it became a 4-2 Phillies lead there. Phillies eventually made it a 5-2 lead, and then steps up ALEC BOHM with the one of the biggest swings of the night.
And BOHM cracks one toward left pretty deep. Nimmo is back out for it. He's at the wall. It is gone. ALEC BOHM delivers a 3-run homer. It's a 6-run 4th inning for the Phillies.
Ball was crushed. Always love seeing that. Let's get the other angle from that. Is that going to show the audio, I wonder? Yes, it does. One person screaming. Then you can just hear the silence from the New York crowd. Always love to see that. Always love to see that. Here comes ALEC BOHM's 4th RBI of the day to make it 9-2.
As BOHM loops one to right, it's another base hit for ALEC BOHM. His 4th of the game. It scores Schwarber. It puts Turner at 3rd, and the Phillies have a 9-2 lead.
Love seeing that. And then we get JT Realmuto's 2-run bomb in the 8th inning, make it 12-2.
Looked like Milwaukee tied that ball game.
There's a drive from JT Realmuto. One more punctuation from the Phillies, and it's a long home run from Realmuto. 12-2, Philadelphia.
A lot of the damage they done today was with 2 outs, and they do not punt on innings. It doesn't matter what the score is. They continue to give quality at bat after quality at bat. And now I think that home run sends everybody to the turnstile.
Yeah, basically. They did a lot of stuff with 2 outs today, which is really nice to see. Is there any audio on this one? You got Rob Thompson doing the handshakes going back into the dugout. I want to see if there's audio on this. Love seeing that there. And then the Phillies posted on their Twitter, postseason is clinched, but there's still more jobs to be done. They still got to clinch this division, which the magic number is down to 2. They'll eventually get it at some point. Could be one of these 2 games here against the Mets. We'll see what that case is. I do want to see if there's anything else here on Twitterverse, just to see if there's anything interesting there. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani got a standing ovation in his first bat tonight in LA after that amazing performance that he had in Miami last night, also getting the 50-50 season, 50 homers, 50 stolen bases. That was just something unreal that you're probably never going to see again in the game that Shohei did yesterday. That was just ludicrous, basically. Insane what Shohei Ohtani did last night. My God, that was crazy. That was crazy. There's crazy stuff there. Crazy stuff. So, let's get to the Anytime Hotline. Let's get to this one voicemail from Sean. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see what he has to say here.
Tip of the cap to the Phillies. I'm happy I was wrong on my prediction. Anytime you make the postseason in any sport, that's an accomplishment. So kudos to them. Christopher Sanchez, kind of a weird start, but again, I think a game like this serves as an important step in his progression. He didn't have his best stuff, walked, I think, 5 guys on the road. He was in some tough jams early, but he managed to wriggle out of it. While on the stat sheet, it's not a very impressive line, I think that a game like this serves to incrementally grow his career and his development as a pitcher. Great job by the bullpen. Fine job by the bats. Really interested in hoping that if nothing else, Ranger Suarez can keep them in the game tomorrow. If you can win that game, yeah, you have a chance to leave New York 3 out of 4. Because all I keep thinking about is what Dontrell Willis said at the end of that telecast. You got to get that number 1 seed. Playoffs are nice. Division is nice. I really think that team needs that number 1 seed. That home field throughout the playoffs. Get every advantage you can possibly have in the postseason. That, to me, is the goal to shoot for.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that perspective, 100%. And I think that's the goal that they're shooting for. And right now, after tonight's game, if we do look at the standings, just to see how everything is shaping up. So you got the 7-game lead above the Mets after tonight's win, the 9-game lead above the Braves, so that really doesn't matter in that way anymore. Right now, your lead over the Dodgers is a half game, depending on what they do tonight with Colorado. Even if they win, you'll still be in the first spot because you do have the tiebreaker. And right now, you're 3.5 ahead of Milwaukee, depending on what they do the rest of the night against the Diamondbacks. Looks like that game is in the top of the 8th now. It's still 7-4 Arizona. So if Arizona wins, that goes to a 4-game lead for the Phillies over the Brewers. So that'll be nice. That'll definitely be nice. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Let's see. I'm not entirely sure. So, Phillies tailgate just posted the Atlanta Braves have been eliminated from NL East contention. Definitely don't even know what doesn't even have to worry about there. Well, let's see. Everyone's trying to say, like, oh, good for the Phillies for not congratulating and everything and going crazy on the field for clinching a postseason berth. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They'll probably do something tiny. Like, the real celebration for them technically will be winning the division. And even then, they're still focused on, I don't even think that'll go crazy. They'll probably still focus on getting the seeding there for the National League. That'll definitely be their goal, 100%. And right now, Phillies, they still have the best record in baseball by a half game over the Dodgers. They're 2.5 games better than the Yankees, 3 games better than the Guardians, 3.5 better than the Brewers, 4.5 better than the Padres, and so on and so forth. Man, the Baltimore Orioles really dropped down there. They definitely have not been doing a lot of winning lately. They're 86-68. They were near tops of the, records in baseball, not that long ago. So they definitely have not been having a good stretch here for a while. That's definitely crazy if you think about that there. And honestly, let's just look at the rest of baseball just to see where everything is laid out. So, let's see. I'm assuming what is Z? Okay, so playoff berth is Z, so they haven't really clinched anything division-wise. And the Dodgers, they're still fighting for their division as well. I'm not even sure what their magic number is because the Padres, they're 4 games behind them, so that, series upcoming is definitely going to be huge from the Dodgers' perspective. But right now, the only team to have clinched a division is the Brewers just because they have such a big of a lead, and that's how bad the NL Central is overall. So they're the only team to clinch a division spot. Looking at the American League, the Yankees, they clinched a postseason berth. They're 3.5 games ahead of the Orioles and all that. The Central, the Guardians, they are in first place by a wide margin. They're 6.5 above the Royals. They're 8.5 above the Twins, and they're 9 above the Tigers, who have actually been doing a lot of winning lately, so we'll see what happens there. The AL West, the Houston Astros, they're 5 games above the Seattle Mariners, who have completely collapsed upon themselves because of their offense being absolutely brutal. And, looking at the wild card standings just for both leagues, why not? The Orioles, obviously, they hold the top wild card spot. The Royals, they hold the second wild card spot, and right now it is a dogfight between the Twins and the Tigers for the final wild card spot, and the Mariners creeping in there 2 games behind Minnesota. And for the National League, Padres, they hold the top wild card spot. The Diamondbacks, they hold the second wild card spot by a half game above the Mets, and if they win, that'll go to a game above the Mets. And right now, the Mets are by themselves in the third wild card spot, 2 games above the Atlanta Braves. So that series this week against Atlanta is going to be very huge for New York in deciding basically everything here. New York's definitely got a tough stretch ending the season. They got the Braves, and then they got the Brewers. And the Brewers are not going to give up anything there because they're still fighting for a bye week. And who knows, yeah, the bye week could be settled all said and done by that series, so you never know. The Brewers could rest a lot of people for then. But you never know. You never know. You never know. So, definitely going to need some interesting stuff as we get closer and closer towards the final weekend. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And here we go. From Todd Selecki, Phillies had a quick champagne toast to celebrate a postseason berth. Rob Thompson spoke. Back to business tomorrow night. And someone said, I need video proof. Oh, man. That is funny. That is definitely funny. Anything else? Anything else on the Twitterverse? I don't think there is anything in there. Nope. Don't think I see anything overall. And one more quick update on the Diamondbacks and the Brewers. They are still in the top of the 8th inning. It's still 7-4 with 2 outs there. Let's see. And the Rockies, bottom of the 2nd inning against the Dodgers. They are leading 1-0. So we'll see what happens there. If the Rockies can find a way to win that one, that'll definitely help the Phillies out and wholeheartedly. So definitely not going to stay on here to track that entire game. I do eventually want to get some rest. My sleep schedule has definitely been terrible as of late, so I would like to get some good sleep. That could definitely be tonight, but knowing I say that, I'll be up watching YouTube until fucking 2 in the morning, because that's me. That's my stupidity. So we'll see. So what's on the docket for the next few days? Obviously, we got Phillies tomorrow. I'm not sure how tomorrow's recap is going to work, just because tomorrow night, actually, well, the game's at 4 tomorrow, so it definitely could end before all is said and done. You never know. But tomorrow, I'm actually going over to the ballpark to watch that, whole Savannah Bananas thing down there, so that'll be cool. My cousin managed to get me sweet tickets, so I'm very grateful for that, to see what the festivities are going to be like down there. I'll go with one of my buddies. And then Sunday, obviously, that's going to be Eagles in the afternoon, and then Phillies play at night, so that definitely could help there with the schedule balancing, so that's definitely helpful. For the recap tomorrow, if it ends early enough, I'll try to get one out before I leave. If it doesn't end before I leave, the recap will just be after everything, or we'll just wait for Sunday night, after Sunday Night Baseball, to talk about everything there. So it definitely, gotta wait and see. Gotta wait and see what happens, and wait and see how tomorrow transpires. Most likely, my luck, the game won't be over by the time I leave for the ballpark. So definitely can't guarantee anything there. But definitely should be a fun day tomorrow. See what the Savannah Bananas are like. What are they, like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball? So should be fun. What else? I know. Yeah, I think is the Flyers preseason first game tomorrow? Is that actually tomorrow? I should check that out. Actually, I should check that schedule to make sure of everything. Flyers schedule. Make sure of everything. No, their first preseason game is on Sunday, actually. First preseason game is on Sunday against the Capitals. So their preseason schedule is Sunday against the Capitals on the road, then in Montreal on Monday, and then they're home on Thursday against the Islanders. They're on home Saturday against the Boston Bruins. And then they're on the road against the Islanders on the 30th. And then I'm assuming they have another preseason game or two after that. Yeah, they got October 1st in Boston. And then they got October 3rd at home against the Devils for the final preseason game, until they have a week off until the regular season starts. So that'll be interesting. I'll definitely be able to get to 2 of these preseason games. So we'll see. I definitely cannot go to that first game because I will not be in the States. Well, I will be in the States. I won't be in the state of Pennsylvania. I'll be in Florida. So, yeah, that's also definitely something that I'm going to have to work through next week, because I am planning on having videos, posted throughout the days when I'm not here. So, You know, I'm planning an Eagles vid, I'm planning a Phillies vid, maybe a Flyers vid or something like that, depending on how everything goes. I'm trying to get people to talk to for those videos. I got someone for the Eagles vid. I'm trying to get, you know, talking to people to try to get something for a Phillies vid and a Flyers vid. Because, you know, spice some things up to talk about it a little bit there instead of you just listening to my ugly mug. So, we'll see. We'll see if everything happens there. But, yeah, let's get to the guys here in the live chat. And then we'll end it off. We'll end it off here. So we'll see. Let's see, just refreshing the Twitter for a little bit there. Nope, nothing there of the interest. So let's go to the chat here, and then we'll end it off for tonight. Austin, how you doing? Let's go Nicodelphia now for the 1 seed. Jose says, tomorrow we win the division. Yeah, I would like to see that happen tomorrow. That would be nice to see. Why did this game have to be on Apple TV? I'm pissed. Wayne Randazzo, Mr. Apple TV, that's why. The Braves' 6th NL East title streak has been snapped, thank God. Clinching a playoff berth, great. Doing it against the Mets, awesome. Bohm has been dynamite since his return. Yeah, he's been definitely pretty good. I like seeing that from Bohmer. Very worried about Suarez. He hasn't had a legit good game in months. Yeah, I do agree with that. Hopefully, he could find a way to make us hope tomorrow, but I just don't see it. I just don't think Ranger is salvageable right now, unless he somehow figures it out. Turd, how you doing? Ring the damn bell. Always love it. Tyler Cy Young Gilbert. 3 straight playoff appearances. Clinching a playoff spot doesn't feel worthwhile of a big deal celebration. Feels good not to have to sweat out the last few games to make the playoffs like the last few years. Yeah, it definitely does feel like that. Definitely does. It looks like they're taking it more seriously. Oh, yeah, they definitely should. They definitely should. What part of Florida am I going to? I'm going to Orlando. I'm going to, because my mom and sister, they like doing the Halloween stuff with Universal and Disney. They've been going to Horror Nights the past couple of years, so now we're all going down there to do one of the Horror Nights down in Universal. We're also doing the Disney Park, one of those nights in the Magic Kingdom. So we're doing, I believe, we're going on Thursday. Not Thursday. We're going Tuesday, and we're staying till Friday. So our Horror Nights tickets are for Wednesday night, and the Disney one is for Thursday night. So we're staying there 4 days. So 4 days, 3 nights, and all that stuff. We're coming back Friday night. So, yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun. Definitely should. Definitely excited for that. Really haven't experienced anything like that. I've been to like Universal and stuff in California. I've been there in Los Angeles. I haven't been to the Florida one yet. And the last time I've been to Disney World was like when I was, like, was it middle school? Maybe between 7th and 8th grade that summer, I think, or something like that. That was the last time I was in Disney World. So definitely will be intriguing to see what things have changed down there, even though we're not going for that long. You know, it's basically just the Magic Kingdom for, you know, an evening. So it'll be interesting, though. See some stuff there. The hotel that we're staying at actually has a lot of shit there. It's one of the Universal hotels. So definitely should be a lot of interesting stuff overall. Should be a fun trip. Definitely. And hopefully, yeah, the Phillies deal with the entire, they get that all wrapped up and everything, so I really don't have to stress over the week, even though I'll still, you know, tune in on the MLB app or something like that, or if I'm in the hotel, I'll find a way to watch the game, probably, because Tuesday night, we're not doing anything. We're basically, you know, we're going to, like, Disney Springs on Tuesday afternoon before we could check into the hotel, and then basically the rest of the day, we're just chilling at the hotel, doing everything there, so if I can find a way to watch the Phillies, I'll definitely partake in that. That'll definitely be fun. So who knows? Who knows? Should be a fun trip overall, though. Should be a very fun trip. Should be. Patrick, how you doing? How you doing? Greetings from New Jersey. Always love my South Jersey. South Jersey or North Jersey? Where are you from, Patrick? South or North Jersey? South or North? Love my even though I'm from South Philly, basically in Jersey, like not 24/7. I'm in Jersey frequently because it's better to go into New Jersey for stuff than in the Philly, in my personal opinion. But yeah, yeah, it's still pushing 100 degrees in Florida. I did check the temperatures. I think it's supposed to be like in the 90s this week or something like that. I know Tuesday and Wednesday the weather's supposed to be nice, you know, rain-wise, and then Thursday, Friday, that's when like the tropical storms push in. So hopefully when we go home, we're not delayed on the flight. Hopefully that's not something we have to deal with. Oh, God. So, yeah, we'll see how everything turns out there. We'll see how everything turns out there. One more quick update, I guess, on the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, just to see where that game's going. Right now, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Diamondbacks are still up 7-4, and the inning just ended. The Diamondbacks are still up 7-4 going into top of the 9th. Always nice to see. Always nice. What else? What else? Nope, I don't think there's anything else there. No, don't think there's anything else. Don't even know what I just said there. Don't even know what I just said there. Look, it's not late at night, but I'm also tired. That's basically it. So, yeah. Think for now, unless there's anything else that pops up into the chat in the next few seconds that piques my interest. I think this is a good time to call it off here. I do appreciate a lot of people tuning in, though. Definitely appreciate it. Any teams that you don't want to see in the playoffs this year? Oof. That's a tough question. I guess just the Diamondbacks. That's probably the team I don't want to see the most, just because of recency history and all that stuff. Probably the team I don't want to see the most. In terms of other teams, try to think. Maybe the Brewers, just because of their pitching. Maybe that's another team I don't want to see. I don't mind seeing LA. Any of the wildcard teams, besides Arizona, probably don't scare me. The Padres, even though the Padres have been playing a lot better, I think we can handle San Diego. We definitely fare better against San Diego. I think maybe it's just more Arizona and Milwaukee and all that stuff. Arizona more with the recency history, and the Brewers mainly because of their pitching and all that stuff. I think that's mainly where I am. I'm fine if we end up playing them. If the Braves somehow ended in, I wouldn't mind playing the Braves. If somehow the Mets end up, I wouldn't be scared of playing the Mets, all that stuff. So, we'll see how everything goes there. We will. But, I think we've gone on long enough. Yeah, Brewers and Diamondbacks for you. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of Phillies fans' perspective there. So, yeah, all in agreement, and we're good. Yeah, we definitely been playing good against San Diego for a couple of years. In the recent history, too, so I'm not really concerned about that entire thing. But, yeah. So, for tomorrow's recap, depending on time the game ends, if I can't do the recap tomorrow, I'll just pair it with Sunday night's recap after that game. Sunday definitely will be big in terms of videos here just because of Eagles and then Phillies at night. So, we'll see what transpires here. So, you'll definitely keep it posted. If I can't do the recap tomorrow, I will post it in the chat. You can see it on Twitter and everything like that. If you're following me on Twitter, you follow me on Twitter. It's right down there on your screen. So, yeah, you'll see something posted. If not, you'll see something pop up in your subscription feed, and we'll talk from there. But thanks, guys, for tuning into tonight. Definitely did see a lot of people join the stream tonight, so I really appreciate that. A lot of people. We have almost 400 viewers total, so really much appreciate that. So if you are a new viewer to the channel, I do recommend you hitting that subscribe button, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Does me a lot of service there with the YouTube algorithm. Getting closer to 1,000 subs, so I would like to see it, continue to get closer and closer as we get through this, playoff push with the Phillies, going through the NFL season, and as the Flyers and the Sixers season starts. Definitely a lot of interesting stuff there, so appreciate you guys tuning in. Also, don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. If you want to try to get yourself to a playoff game or try to get yourself down to the Citizens Bank for the final home series of the year before the playoffs, and even get yourself to some Eagles games. And also, Flyers preseason, Flyers regular season, Sixers stuff that'll eventually start soon. So definitely utilize that code. TTP Sports, $20 off. Great deal. Don't pass.